I love the energy of eclipse. It's a wild card energy. It allows us to go into the shadow and see what was previously hidden, to liberate ourselves from our past karmic looping patterns, and to really embrace our destiny. Hi, my name is Sarah Lingadish, and I am your truth fairy, your cosmic translator, your 3/5 mental projector. And I am here today to break down the energy of eclipses, because eclipses are such powerful portals of accelerated growth and change. They happen twice a year, and their effects can be felt for 6 months after, until the next eclipse season. An eclipse is when one of the luminaries, either the sun or the moon, is eclipsed by another celestial body, meaning there is something that is hidden and then revealed. This is a battle between the dark and the light. And this is a moment to change and transform from one way of being to the next. In astrology, the eclipses are associated with fate and twist of turn in destiny, karma, releasing, letting go, and rebirthing, because they are tied into the nodes of fate and destiny. The nodes in astrology are points in the sky between the ecliptic of the sun and the moon, where the sun and the moon cross. Those points are called the nodes of the moon, associated with our karmic past and our future destiny. So each eclipse is associated with a sign and with a node, either the south node being a releasing, a letting go of the karmic past, or the north node pushing us towards an evolution that will enhance our destiny. A solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, and it casts its shadow upon the earth. It's associated with a new moon, a rebirthing cycle. Lunar eclipse is associated with a full moon, when the earth is positioned between the sun and the moon, and therefore casts a shadow on the moon. This is an accelerated full moon, which is a releasing energy, a letting go, a purging. Eclipse season is usually a process that involves about 6 weeks of transformation, where we enter a portal of energetic accelerated change. So we begin with one new moon that opens the cycle, leading 2 weeks later into the first eclipse, another 2 weeks the second eclipse, and usually another 2 weeks till the next lunar cycle, either a new moon or a full moon, when we wrap up the conclusion of that lesson, that learning. The nodes of the moon are moving between an axis point, where it's two sides of the same in a different frequency. Each of these eclipses will be associated with an axis of energies. For example, Pisces, Virgo, the axis of flow and stability and growth on earth, bringing heaven to earth. So we're working with two sides of the same energy expressed differently. The nodes will be in a particular axis for about 18 months at a time. And then they will shift, moving backwards in a retrograde movement. They'll move into the sign before it. It takes about 18 years for the nodes to make an entire cycle. The nodes of the moon are really associated with the deepest level of our evolutionary process and growth in our lifetime. They are extremely important to understand in your own natal birth chart. And while we are affected by the transiting nodes that are passing through the sky at one time, it will depend on what you have in those signs or what challenging angles, let's say a 90-degree angle, a square of tension that needs to be resolved. It really does depend what your natal chart reflects and how it is affected by the current transiting nodes of the moon. So eclipses really are endings and beginnings. And we go into a specific sign axis for 18 months where we will identify and deconstruct and cleanse and purify the shadows of each of these signs, where we will plant new seeds, where we will move towards our destiny, letting go of the karmic past we have been carrying and embracing the future outside of our comfort zone that may make us feel uncomfortable and fearful. However, deep down, we know we are here to move towards that future growth point. The nodes can really be our security, where we feel comfortable is often associated with our south node, where it's hard for us to change, but also where we hold many gifts from the first half of our life, from about 42, from 0 to 42, or from past lives as well. These are the gifts and the comfort zone we come into in this life. And we are moving away from that south node towards our north node. Like a pointed arrow, we're embarking on the hero's journey of embracing the high enlightened qualities of that opposing sign, which is beyond our comfort zone, which we may not necessarily choose to do, but which we will be invited by the universe, by the cosmos, to step further into that path as we gain wisdom and age. It's usually around the age of 42 to 45, around that Uranus opposition, that we are moving from our karmic past into our future destiny point. And depending on all kinds of karmic aspects and complexes and traumas in our natal birth chart, will depend on how we embrace that journey from the past to the future, and how we can really let go of those things that may be easy, but require us to stay small or diminish our growth and expansion in this life. So if we want to go deeper into what the south node and the north node of a particular sign means, I encourage you to look in the link below. I wrote a book called Claim Your Hidden Power, and it's transformation and self-mastery through the 12 astrological archetypes, a Shadow Work 101 book. And there I have listed by sign the shadows and the high expression. So you can go into that document. You can just download it below and see what are the shadow tendencies to be released by house and sign, and what are the high expressions to be embraced. So do grab that below to get all that information on any of the signs, no matter which one you have your nodes in. Eclipse season is a time of shadow work, because there is something that was previously hidden that can be revealed. We're being supported and pushed by the cosmos and the energy of the moment to look within the shadow realms to see what was previously unable to be seen. So it is a time to do your deep personal internal work. So what kind of shadow work should you be doing during this time? At a minimum, I would suggest that you journal through this eclipse portal, that you pay attention to the signs, the symbols, the themes, the conversations, the arguments, the feelings, the strong emotions that come up during this time, because all of that is information that wants to teach you how to release something and how to embrace something going into your future. So minimum would be to take that time to pay attention to your dreams as well your download, flash of insights. We are being infused by information from the cosmos. So do take some time to contemplate in solitude, to receive the messages that only you and your soul can receive. How we can do that: go into nature, spend time alone, go into meditation, learn how to meditate. I will include above a free guided meditation to get you started. It's only 10 minutes. That's one excellent way to start. It sort of walks you through the somatic process of listening to your body and relaxing so that you can begin to tap in deeper to your intuition and your deep soul inner knowing, your truth. Meditation. Another way we can work with the shadow realms is doing shamanic work. If there's any circles or groups in your area, we can also do psychological work, seeing a therapist, wanting to look deep into the shadows. Hypnotherapy is another excellent work to do during eclipse season. I actually do something called soul hypnotherapy, where I take people into a guided, altered state, hypnotic state, where we look at what the issue, the problem is that they can't quite understand on their own. And I guide them through a process of uncovering what is hidden underneath in the subconscious layers so that we can bring it to light, we can acknowledge it, they can express it, and then we can transmute that energy and heal, allowing it to be seen and integrated into the being. So check it out. I do a one-on-one session, or I do a 6-part mentorship process where we could go deeper dive. So check out the mentorship link below where we would go deep into that process. If you feel there's something within you that wants to be revealed and you don't know what, perhaps I can support you on that process of revealing what is going on and healing that relationship with your subconscious. The big shadow work expression would be any kind of dance therapy. It would be ecstatic dance. It would be 5 rhythms. It would be, honestly, I would make a playlist. This is what I do, and I've done a lot of this on my own. You make a playlist of the emotional songs that make you feel a lot. You decide how long you make that playlist, and then you take that time alone to just really gently start to move your body the way your body wants to be moved. It's not about performance. It's not about being seen. This is not about being filmed. This is about listening to how your body wants to move so that you can release anything stored in your body. I would suggest a lot of somatic work. So doing massage, doing tapping, working with any kind of a therapist that could help you release stored tensions in the body. Eclipse season is also heightened emotional time, so do give yourself space and time to feel your emotions. You want to feel what's coming up for you. You want to allow yourself to process what is actually happening. And if you don't understand why things are coming up yet, be patient, journal about it, note to self, and do make that time for yourself whenever you can. Even 5 minutes of checking in how you're feeling about a specific issue can help you deeply work through these issues. I would also suggest, once again, check out my Claim Your Hidden Power free ebook, where I break down the shadows and the high expression of each sign, because we are each doing our deep dive shadow work. And if you have those themes with you, you can explore them on a deeper level. I would also suggest getting a personal reading to help you understand things that you can't see yourself. No matter where you are at on your journey, getting someone with a lot of experience to read or see deeply into your chart can help you uncover things that were previously hidden. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Do check out the links below. I have tons of free gifts for you. For those who want to go deeper into shadow work, I invite you to book a one-on-one consultation with myself or someone you trust and admire, because we can help you look into those specific themes and even help you work through how to approach these shadow work themes. What is the timeline of change during an eclipse season? I believe you are already starting to feel the energy when those nodes are getting closer, within 10 degrees of those eclipse points. So when, let's say the eclipse is at 15 degrees, we could already be feeling the energy of the eclipse when the nodes of the moon are at 5 degrees or 25 degrees. There's a concentrated 6 weeks period of deep process. And then there's the reverberation. Whatever is happening at one eclipse portal, the effects will be felt for the next 6 months, when we hopefully find that we come to some conclusion of the work we've done in the next eclipse cycle 6 months ahead. Also, you want to look back 6 months to see what were the themes you were working with on the last eclipse, so that you can understand how your evolution is going. How should you work with eclipse energy? I believe eclipse energy is deeply personal for each and every one of us, and I do believe it's a time to really dedicate to yourself and your practice, somatic work, your meditation, your spiritual practice, your grounding, your health, and well-being routines. It's a time to really listen to the voice within your intuition, your soul, and your cosmic connection with the universe. So do pay attention and do take note of anything special, or take note of anything that marks a shift in perspective. It's a very exciting wild card energy when anything can happen. So do understand that everyone is in a process during eclipse season. So may we have the patience and the grace to allow ourselves to surrender and be well during our process, no matter what comes up. And may we also extend that grace, that love, and that care for those in our lives and those in the world, because everyone will be going through their own portal of accelerated change. Depending on your level of consciousness is depending on how you will handle this energetic shift. Honestly, I would not focus on manifestation practices during the eclipse season. Focus on what you need to know, what you need to release, and what you have as an intention moving forward once we pass eclipse season. Eclipse season is like that learning, deep dive, therapeutic shadow work moment of time. So you don't want to be trying to manifest, or not necessarily starting new projects, but more like refining how you will be moving forward once that energy shifts, because it is a very intense time. You do want to be making your self-care a priority. Each eclipse cycle affects the world, the collective, in a specific way, with the themes, the shadow themes of one sign or the high expression. And there's an evolution in our collective consciousness that happens. And each of us is having a personal evolution depending on our natal birth chart. This is my part 1 in a 4-part eclipse series that I want to deep dive, take you into a new perspective on how you can work with the eclipse, what you need to know for each of the eclipse, and how you can best align and take advantage of this time so that you can advance and move forward into your destiny without too much resistance, without too much discomfort. There may be a certain amount of discomfort happening, but just know that this too shall pass.